Hi, I'm Rhonda, and welcome back to my studio and my Potter's Journal for something that is a little bit different, but that I just would love to share with all of you. I know that my videos leading up to this one have mentioned that I had the opportunity to go on vacation and go to the UK, and I'm back, and it truly was probably a life-changing experience in multiple ways, and I would like to share that with you. First off, thank you for being here and being part of this journey, and this has developed into something so much more than I ever anticipated, and the friendships that have been created and the connections, they're just amazing. I'm a little bit jet lagged, so if my brain has a little bit of fog right now, I apologize, because I got home last night and on June 8th. So I'm filming this in the morning of June 9th because I feel like I need to do this before I progress back into my studio and into my creative process. So I'm going to kind of do this in chronological order just because my mind needs that right now, not because anything is more special than anything else. In fact, the most special pieces of all of it came at the very end of the vacation. So I'll quit rambling and I'll just get started. We started off in Scotland, my husband and I, and the trip really was about taking him to the Highlands because he's a photographer and a drone pilot and a jack of everything, all trades, master of several of them. And while I was in the Highlands, I found pottery because, we're potters and that's what we do. I picked this up especially because it's UIG pottery, and the UIG, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm sorry, but that's the actual little town on the Isle of Skye. And the potter was actually in their glazing pieces, and I picked this one out because her painting technique is just absolutely amazing, because she's got these underglazes and she's got these mid-fire glazes, and there's texture to it, and it represents the cliffs that are there on the Isle of Skye. The other thing that I got, because I actually got to see these while I was there, is I got a hairy coop. He's so cute. There's lots of work in here, because I know that each one of these little hairs was actually extruded with a small, probably little coil plunger, but he's absolutely adorable. And then once we finished our trip through the Highlands and to the Isle of Skye, we traveled south, and I got to visit Stoke-on-Trent. I don't know if y'all watched the Great Pottery Throwdown. They're on finished season 9 this past year, but it's amazing and wonderful, and the history that is in Stoke concerning ceramics is hundreds of years worth of history. And knowing that I was going to go to Stoke, I reached out to Sarah Hallam and asked her if she would be willing to meet with me. And Sarah is such a beautiful, wonderful soul that immediately she said yes. And if you've been following her channel, you know that she is really good friends with Jeanette at Far Forest, Maxine at Collie Pit, and Lucy at West 2. And that kind of morphed into me getting to meet with them. And then Suza found out that I was going to be there, and Europe is smaller than the United States in some ways, and seems much vaster in other ways. So she asked if it was okay if she would come and meet with me at Stoke, and it just blossomed into this beautiful adventure. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My first thing was to actually visit Gladstone, where the Great Pottery Throwdown is filmed. And I'll throw some pictures in that my husband took. I got to see the bottle kilns. I got to hear the history. I got to tour Duchess China, speak to their prestigious ceramics artist who actually creates these amazing, intricate china designs for the royals, and his work is absolutely amazing. And speak to him about how those types of pigments are used, and that in turn shows me that I should be painting some on my pots. And yeah, it just morphed. The next thing that I did, because Suza showed up and Sarah suggested that we go to Wedgwood, and we did. And if y'all think Jeanette has a thing with textiles, Josiah Wedgwood is, yeah, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of textiles. Right up Jeanette's alley. It was absolutely phenomenal. And we got to talk to and take a tour and see the jasperware and hold one of the Portland vases. And I used to think my pots were too thick. There is a such thing as too thick. But I realized that some things have to have weight more so than others. And other things that I learned from Wedgwood is how they create their reliefs and the sprig molds for those reliefs. And you can't discount or, sorry, my mind is back there and in the amazingness of everything that was going on in a factory setting but still handmade. It was just phenomenal. From Wedgwood, we met with Sarah that evening and exchanged mugs, because that was one of the things we were going to do. And I gave Sarah my mug, which you saw in the last video, but she didn't have, so I waited. We were going to wait till the next day. And I apologize, I'm rambling. And then we made plans to meet with Maxine and Jeanette at Pot Clays. That pottery store is amazing. It's several levels. They have all kinds of glazes, classrooms. They have kilns and wheels and pug mills on the showroom floor so that you can actually see them. And while we were there, I purchased one of these flex bats because it was in person. And I've watched the YouTube tutorial on it, so I'm gonna try this out. It may be successful, and it may be not. But the other thing that was decided at Pot Clays was my June challenge, the glaze roulette, which started out great. It started out with, this one, which is green jasper. And I like green jasper. And this was Jeanette's choice, I believe. It was either Jeanette or Maxine, I can't remember. The second choice was moss mist. And I'm like, okay, this is wonderful. These have greens. This is going to be a cool looking combination. Then we head downstairs because that's where their Spectrum and Laguna glazes were. And then Suza randomly picks by number, and I end up with neon orange. And the funny thing is, Jeanette will eventually post the video because she was vlogging all of this as we were going through pot clays. And I'm sitting there and going, not the orange, not the orange, not the orange. And of course, I end up with the orange. Sarah picked Monet's Pond for me, but I don't actually have it, so she said I could use Koi Pond, which might help because it does have orange crystals in it. We'll see. And then from Pot Clays, we moved on to Middleport, where Sarah was having her show. And it was so cool to see her table all set up and to get to see Middleport and tour it also, and just spend time with these amazing people. So if you get the chance to meet up with a fellow potter, please do, because yeah, it is life-changing. The one thing I did do was from Sarah's booth, I did purchase this beautiful leaf vessel. I don't want, it's not a bowl and it's not a tray, and it has such amazing movement to it and colors, and I had to bring it home with me. So we wrapped it up really well, and it made it all the way across the pond. After Sarah's show, we all met up at the restaurant of the hotel we were staying in, and we did a mug exchange. And yeah, amazing mugs. So just not in any particular order, but from left to right, I am the proud owner of a Suza, handmade by Suza original, with a fidget ball. I'm not a fidgeter, but this is, yeah, I'm now a fidgeter. I can't say I'm not a fidgeter because this is so cool. And it fits really well in my hands. This one, if y'all have seen Maxine's latest kiln opening, I am the proud owner of this lovely. And I believe she said it has walnut, brown walnut by Mako, and I'm still trying to figure out how that works. I don't have that glaze. I'm going to have to buy it because it throws off some greens that are absolutely amazing. The next one is, I have an A-up duck, and the people in Stoke call each other Ducky. Like, how you doing, Ducky? Where in the South we'd say honey or sweetie pie or something like that. But I almost bought a duck mug that Sarah had, but it was pink. And I'm like, I'm not really a pink girl. I'm going to leave that for someone who will absolutely love it. And I knew that Sarah was going to give me a mug, so I was just hoping and praying that I would end up with a duck mug. And here I am. I have one. I believe it's frosted lemon with lime shower. It's absolutely gorgeous. So excited. Sarah also gifted me a couple of other things. I have this trinket dish, which I'm going to set on my nightstand, and I will put earrings and things in it because I always forget to take them off before I go to bed. And then she gifted me this tiny ghost. And I bought some other tiny ghosts from other people at the market, but they're not clay. This one's clay. I also got one of her heart fidgets. And then we move on to Jeanette's mug. And the waterfall of these glazes and the way they... I know we all tease Jeanette about her test tiles, but holding this piece and seeing what all of those hours of testing have built to, I don't have the patience. I'm glad she does, because this is stunning and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to drink my afternoon coffee out of this today because I'm treating myself with the different mugs. Jeanette also gifted me this heart. It's very, very pretty. I don't remember what she said the glazes were, but it's like stunning, and they look like nebulas out in space. That's what they remind me of. The other thing that I have here that I have Jeanette's test piece, or her glaze roulette piece, and just like her mug, the waterfall of these glazes and the way they play together, I know she didn't test this prior, but the effect and the flow just shows how much she knows about glazes, even when they're ones that she didn't intend on putting together. Then I come home and I'm overwhelmed because I get back and I have a box here from Viver because I get to test their small programmable kiln, and I'm going to test it against Elliot to see if it really is all it's hyped up to be, so that hopefully there's an economic solution rather than having to have the expenditure of a second Bartlett programmable kiln. So that was package number 1. Then I get package number 2, and I haven't opened this one yet because I haven't gotten around to it because, like I said, I just got home yesterday. And this is from Audrey at Audrey Lynn Studios, and I have no clue. Well, I have a clue, but I don't know because I asked her about it, and we had conversation back and forth, and then I dropped the ball on the conversation, and with my upcoming vacation and the end of the school year and everything, I kind of lost track and figured I would come back to it later. So, an unboxing, but not an expected unboxing. It's a surprise unboxing because I have no clue. Well, I have a clue. So, a little prezzy for you, Audrey. I think this is an oyster cutter, and I think it's a smaller oyster cutter because in the south of the United States, down here where we have oyster beds, people love to eat oysters on the half shell, and I wanted I want to make a smaller oyster, but I want a plate, but I want multiple oysters on it. So I asked Audrey if she could print me a smaller one because I own the other sizes and I want to take and have it fan out from the center. Thank you, Audrey. I can't wait. This is something I'm going to do this week. And finally, the other package that arrived, totally completely unexpected, is from Gigi at Clay Baby Studios. I had 3D printed her something and shipped it off right before I left because she and I had discussion about it, and I'd already opened this because I thought that because this looks like the exact same box that I sent her, I thought that I'd messed up on the box. But what she did is she sent me a thank you. And it's Pink Speck by Mako, and it's one of the from the new Mako line for this year. So I get to, I don't know what I'm going to create with it. It's outside my box because I don't do a lot of pinks, but thanks to Sarah and Gigi now, I'm going to be exploring pinks. If you've stayed around this long, I want to say thank you for being part of my community, and thank you for tagging along on this wonderful journey that I'm on. I never expected it to get this far. I don't know what I expected. Didn't have any expectations for it. But I have met some of the most amazing people, and I know I'm going to continue to add to that list because that's what happens. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you find something today that brings you joy. And I'll see you next time.